Ciao, friends. This is Liz from SimpleItalianCooking.com. I'm so excited that you're here today because we're going to talk about how to combine butter with your olive oil. For those who have never done this before, it can be kind of intimidating. You really don't want to mess it up. I mean, these aren't really cheap ingredients that you just are okay with wasting. So I'm going to give you a few tips of how we do it here in our house and how we've been doing it for many years. And then you can take it from there. I'm only going to talk about olive oil, not other oils such as avocado, canola, which I never use canola. I've never done it with avocado oil, so I'm not exactly sure of the flavor there, so I don't know if the ratios would be different. First thing I want to tell you, there's no wrong or right when mixing your butter with your olive oil. So if you don't get it exact, it's okay. It's no big deal. So we've used it to fry our eggs, butter our toast. We've used it in Alfredo sauces. There's a lot of different uses you can use this for. The other thing I want to say is, what do you need? You need butter, you need extra virgin olive oil, which is what I recommend. Do not use cooking oil, cooking olive oil, which is regular olive oil. This is personal preference. So what are you going to need? You're going to need a spatula here, and you're going to need a medium-sized bowl. So the spatula is what we use when the butter is at room temperature, which is what I have here. I have one stick, so that's equal to a half a cup of butter and a half a cup of olive oil. So we have the same ratio of the butter to the olive oil, which is a really great place to start, especially if you've never done this before. It's just really easy, and then you can modify from there. I'm using a spatula that's not super hard. It's got some flexibility to it, and it can spread some butter around. I already have a little bit of butter in here, actually, um, unintentionally. Now, you can also use a hand mixer. I've never used a KitchenAid to do this. It's too small of an amount, and I just don't think it's necessary to pull it out and do all of that. Besides, when you use a hand mixer, yes, you can do this, but you might end up with more of a whipped consistency, and that's not what we're looking for. We just want to blend the butter with the olive oil. So the first thing you do, I mean, check out how hard this is, right? You add the butter in. I'm just gonna kind of break this up a little bit. Again, the spatula, you don't want it too flimsy because it'll be a little hard to break it up, but you don't want it so hard that you're not able to mix it. And I have a cup of olive oil, which may seem like a lot, but it goes a long way. And mix it, press it down, just simply press it down. That's what I find works. And the softer the butter is, obviously, the easier it will be. So you really want to make sure that it's at room temperature. And you don't want to melt the butter and try it. Don't do it that way. You want to keep it like this. Okay, so we've been mixing this, and you're going to notice that it's going to actually become clumpy. Kind of like this, okay? It'll look like it's curdling, okay? So if you want some help, you can take a fork, and then you can kind of mix it up with this and get those clumps out. And it'll take a few minutes. So if your arm gets tired, give it a break. But with the fork, I'm just using it to press it, to break it up and press it. And then I'll go back to the spatula and continue using that. And I'll go back and forth between the two. And I can see it's getting thicker. Yeah, and back to the spatula. And I'm just using it to continue to press down any clumps that I've broken up with the fork. My clumps are definitely getting smaller and smaller. And as you can see, I'm just simply turning the bowl as I use my spatula to press down and smooth them out. So now that we're done, and I still have a few little clumps in there, and that's okay. I'm not concerned about that. After all, I'm going to cook with it. It's going to melt anyway, or I'm going to spread it. So we're going to go ahead and put it in an airtight container, and we're going to store it in the refrigerator. And then when we need it, we just pull it out and take a knife and scoop out what we need. And here's the container that we're going to use. And using the spatula, you just pour it in. Oh, I must say, this looks really, really beautiful. I really hope this helped anybody out there that's just kind of always been curious about doing this and never have. It's so easy. You have nothing to be intimidated about. And like I said, there's no wrong or right in doing this. So we started with a 1-to-1 ratio. You may find that, hey, you want more olive oil? Then add more olive oil. There's no wrong or right. So start with this and see how it turns out and how you enjoy it. So we're going to put the lid on. Don't tip it, right? Like I just did. So this will solidify in the refrigerator. And when you need it, just take it out and use it. Let me know how it goes for you and what you've discovered along the way. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and hit the notify button, because as we come out with more videos, we want to make sure that you know about them. Thank you so much for watching. Grazie e ciao.